It's Tuesday for you all. We're here. We're back.
It's pronounced y'all.
Y'all?
Y'all.
For y'all? I do say y'all, but I guess my northern side comes out when I'm trying to do Tech Tuesday. I don't know. It comes and goes, I'm sure.
I as well have a northern accent.
You do, actually. It's true for somebody who's a, proclaimed southerner. But, it is what it is. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Ben.
I'm Tim.
And I believe this is 72. We're almost to 75, which is crazy. But we're back answering questions for the people like normal. But yeah, we went to Bowtie Nationals this weekend. That was pretty killer. What else was killer was the rain on Friday. But if you were able to join us, you know that the rain subsided on Saturday, and it was great. But our next show will be Good Guys Nashville. Are you going to that show? Probably, maybe, who knows?
I don't know.
It's in May.
I'd have to honestly check the schedule to see which ones I'm signed up for. My day stays so dense with things that normally even the things I've signed up for to go, I do know the majors like SEMA and PRI, but with the rest of it, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, when you're going this week, I'm like,
oh,
yes,
cool. Yeah,
yes,
of course, absolutely.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to
it's
the one in Nashville, but Reed is.
I just signed up for everything. Send me to the place to see the people, the people we do this for, so that we can talk and have interactions and do things. And you can ask me all the tough questions you want because I like it.
Which is why we're here, answering questions for the people. So we'll jump into question uno. Do you want me to go or you go?
Oh, I'll do it.
Okay.
Didn't bring my glasses.
Uh-oh.
It's okay, though. I just close the bad eye and then look at it with the other bad eye. Let's see. Mark Hughes, 4674. Are you folks looking into the large amount of Killshot owners that have a false rev limiter at 4 to 4,500 RPM range? I know a few tuner, and they have said they cannot tune it out as well. Thank you for all the help, as always. Interesting, that 4,500 range. I've been doing a lot of poking and prodding into that particular situation. It seems to be with higher horsepower vehicles under a lot of cylinder pressure. One I solved myself with changing the gap on the spark plugs and using a lower resistance spark plug wire as well. But a few others that seem to be plagued with the same thing, I just used a CDI box and really upped the voltage, I guess you could say. Really put the better output because it comes into fuel type and cylinder pressure and horsepower and all kinds of other factors to play with that. So it's not really anything weird other than it's kind of just blowing out a bit of spark. So there is that, but we're looking into a whole bunch of other stuff to making sure there's not something we can do to help mitigate any of those issues because it's not consistent with every single thing. It's just depending on the engine combination and how nasty a motor really is whether it's plagued or not, and your ignition combination and your plug wires and your plugs and your shape of your combustion chamber. All these things come into play. I had a lot of people, somebody said, like, why is Aces having this? I'm like, no, I've had the same thing on other systems. It's just, big, nasty 800 horsepower motor, like a blow spark out every once in a while. So that's just one of those things. We're looking into it.
Yep.
Been looking into it.
Yep.
Been playing with it. I can't reproduce it, but I have people for that.
Yep.
So it works out really nice. But we're making any improvement we can.
Yep. We got Nell Kinton. He says, thanks for the answer about the tunnel RAM PCV location. The port on the front is the exact one I was asking about. I did find a diagram for a throttle body from another manufacturer that looks the same. That does not mark that as the PCV location. But good to know I can put it on the other ports too.
Yep.
With that in mind, I'll use whichever port gives me the cleanest install.
I'd use one of the ones in the back or bottom. I like to hide them things because you got a big fat 3/8 rubber hose just poking out there.
Yep. Where's it on the regular? The old school looking manifolds is on the side of the throttle body as well. With the,
I
think so.
Like a Killshot, I use them on the side of the throttle body.
Oh, not the TBIs, but the multi-port old school looking intakes. Aren't they on those?
Some of them have ports in the back, depending on which version you have, and some are just on the throttle body itself, which looks pretty good. But you know me, I run my throttle bodies backwards because of my truck.
Yep. Also facts.
Also, fun fact. I was having a bit of an engineering conversation the other day with some of the folks that does our software, and they are going to work on allowing you to data log and view the home screen at the same time. I've seen a lot of people post that question, mention it a few times.
A lot, actually.
And I know we used to do it that way, but we wanted to get the best sampling of data. And the reality is that to do that, you got to not be able to go to the home screen, so it reads all the data. But we're going to divvy that up a little bit so we can go to the home screen and still do a data log in the background.
Yep. That's cool. I didn't even know that.
I don't know when they're going to release that, but that's one of the things on their new to-do list, I guess you could say. I'm constantly
adding to the to-do list.
Always.
We add to it every week. We do.
Well, everybody's like, "Where's this thing at?" I'm like, we got to look at what's going to hit harder. What's going to be the best thing to do for the majority?
Answer is yes.
The answer is we're going to do our best.
We've got Justin Mama. Sure. 9289. Thanks for the answer. Excited about the upcoming Mopar products. We'll send an update soon. And I'm running Magnum heads because I work at a machine shop and I'm weird or I'm sure he said I'm weird like that, cutting in new valve seats. LOL. Fair enough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm rebuilding a head after work today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've got
some new tools to try out. I'm excited about that.
We're looking into putting, I believe it's a Challenger, putting the new multi-port Mopar on.
Yeah, I got one of those.
It's bright orange.
I paired up with one of the authorized tuners, got the thing going on, so he'll be seeing that soon. That means you guys are going to be seeing a multi-port on a big block in a Mopar on a dyno, ripping it.
Which will be crazy.
Which would be great because he gives good data.
And then
he also ain't afraid to tell me what's up.
Also facts, and possibly, we'll look at big block Ford, possibly, maybe in the future afterwards.
I want to see a carburetor style big block Chevy intake from a dump truck.
Oh,
that's just personal. That's self-serving. It's but if that's something you guys want to, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Let us know. Everybody wants a big block, whatever, something. Just this is a great opportunity not to ask questions, but also suggest products and things and change this and that. Change this.
Yep.
Change the other thing.
Yep.
Why not? Why doesn't it do this? Can you guys make it do that? Well, we'll check it out.
That's why half of what we have exists. So.
Yeah. Somebody's dropped a comment before, said, "Can you make this?" Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And some of those things look into feasibility and market.
Yep. After you, sir.
Which one were we on?
Right here.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
MGP Customs 4494. Thanks, guys. I'll be hooking up the Killshot. Just want to run a carb for break-in.
Yeah, we've talked about that a few times.
If you already got a solid, what is it? The Holly Street Warrior 600 CFM vacuum secondary, electric choke carburetor that everybody and their cousin has had at some point or has purchased. Like those things, after you get them set up, those are great. Because you don't have to have it installed in the car and do all that stuff. You can break them in exactly up on an engine stand and get them all dialed in. So you're like, hey, everything is consistently good as it should be.
Yep.
Because there's more people comfortable with carbs than there is people comfortable with fuel injection.
Yep.
We want to change that over time with enough education, documents, and videos. But realistically, go with what you know.
Yep. Yep.
I got a carb just for breaking stuff in, but I haven't used it in many years because I've been doing fuel injection. And I also have a fuel injection set up just for breaking in motors that's already got a solid tune in it.
Yep. True. Time Warp Racing says, "Good day, gentlemen. Is it possible to use the new 5-inch screen with the Royal Flush system? And if so, is there a procedure to save my existing tune? Thank you."
Yeah.
Cool hat.
Yeah.
Hat is well, I guess we could make it not a one-off, but probably not. It's a one-off.
The
Tim exclusive.
The color, that yellowish color, could be a little bit more gold or even match the brown, but that's just my preference. But it's still a pretty nice hat. I was at an event this weekend, not bow tie. I was at a vet weekend, and it nearly went missing twice. So it kind of sticks out in the crowd. I'm like, hey, give my hat back.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the 5-inch is usable with the Royal Flush system. I think saving the tune is the same way it's always been.
Same. You can just save the tune, extract it onto a thumb drive, and stick it onto the new one and send it.
Yep. Yeah, I think the 5-inch handheld, as far as I know, the new one is able to be used with everything that we have.
I've used it on everything I have.
So
I even put the new HD 5-inch handheld on the prototype Killshot Classic that's in my dump truck that I built out of spare parts, which still works phenomenally.
Yeah. I've never seen the dump truck, actually.
Oh, man, it's great.
I've seen just about every one of your builds except the dump truck.
I'm going to do a whole big what to do on the dump truck.
That'd be cool.
I gotta update the software because it's still got custom firmware where I made it with the engineering level software and adjusted everything appropriately before there was even a Killshot Classic that existed.
I've seen it on RVs.
Yep.
I've seen it on boats with multiple engines, but I've never seen it on a dump truck. I've had people ask about putting it on planes, but that's a whole other different story, and we would never do that.
Don't do that.
No, definitely not.
The dude that's trying to put it on his airplane, he has special rivets, and he'll buy a 1985 Ford Ranger alternator.
Oh, you're talking about a specific guy. I was talking about
People do this, don't do it. But they'll take an alternator off a Ford Ranger from 1985 because it fits a Cessna, and they'll put the PMA FAA badging on it.
Oh.
Or they pull the guts out and then put it in the other one and stick it back in the plane. Don't do that.
Yeah, we're here for good ideas,
not
bad ideas. No.
I've seen this one cat.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen this one cat. He ran out of washers, so he used pennies for his cowling. And
that's crazy.
Well, washers, $3 for one if it's got a parts cert, or 33 cents if it doesn't, and a penny is a penny, which is 1% of 100.
Yeah,
because it's really a cent. We don't have pennies here.
Again, bad ideas. Anyway. After
I've
you
seen some things.
I'm sure you have. You've also built some things.
I've built some things.
So, all right.
I've built some things that make other people say that they've seen some things.
No.
See, Aaron Pool 928 VE resolution won't get any better in the older systems. That seems like the case. And I hope to see this document speak. He must be talking about my definitions document. Our e-commerce manager has that document. He's editing it up. He's going to drop it on the website under a tech section of the website.
Oh, it's not out yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say it's where all the other documents are.
I've made it. It's good. I've gotten feedback from multiple people and authorized tuners and the engineering group and me because I wrote the thing. And the sooner we get it out, the better, I think. I think more people would really enjoy it. And it's a dry 43-page read of nothing but great stuff.
Dry. That is the word. But, I mean, it's not. It has not existed up until this point, so it needed to. So if you want to go fall asleep to some weird-ass lo-fi music in the background and...
Just lo-fi, yeah, man. I like to get the Zelda soundtrack lo-fi remixed. It's good for studying. If you got like a nasty test coming up or something like that, you're just chilling.
You're just reading Tim's tech document. Anyway, I don't even know if we had put that in there. I just realized I said weird ass.
Should I use my voice and narrate that?
Reed's just gonna put in a beep. Okay. Mark Shanley, he said he missed the live. It's okay.
My eyes have lost track of where the page is, brother. I can tell you that.
It's okay. Anyway, I do have a question. If you are using the PDM with, let's say, a Killshot, do you still need to wire the ECM power /negative directly to the battery, or can you wire the PDM? Wire it to the PDM.
Wire that PDM to your main voltages and then power the ECU off of that. It has a bit of protection in there.
Yep.
Make sure to watch the videos. I admit the schematic can be a bit confusing. I'm going to revamp that and make it a little bit more clear for the people. Because I was looking at it the other day and I'm like, yeah, it's there, but I didn't do a good enough job making that. So we'll revamp it and make it look less jank.
Yep. Yeah.
So
there's just a lot. So.
It's a lot. There's 10,000 of these little things to do, and
yep.
It keeps me occupied in a lovely way. But that's one thing I can do to help improve that, because we've had a few people wire them backwards, and they didn't even read. That was the big thing, is they didn't even like, oh, there's instructions for it. I'm like, yep. Let the magic smoke out.
Yep.
I got a great video of it. It's neat.
Mm-hmm. You've got, actually, you can check out his channel, Action Vulture. He's got a full walkthrough of that PDM on there.
It was a 1 hour video of the PDM on a Deuces Wild on an S10. I think I did it justice, because I did go through each wire and explain it. Yep. It's hard to do it on the Asus stuff, because we'd end up with an hour-long video of me talking about wiring.
Also, you have to sit there for, I mean, the video's an hour long, but it takes longer.
It took a lot longer than an hour to make.
Yeah, so
that's why all my stuff is unedited. I click it on and then try not to say any bad words, because I'm in a garage.
Like what I just did. Anyway, man.
Once you break that barrier, you're not going back.
So we're gonna have to. Well, anyway, Nell Kinton says on the Joker tunnel RAM system, naturally aspirated, does the IAT sensor value factor into the control of the system, or is it just informational point for the display? Can I run the car without this sensor, or should I make sure to drill out a spot for it on the intake tube before I hit the road?
I'd put a sensor.
I would
in there.
definitely read that.
You don't
for sure.
have to. It's not completely mandatory to put the sensor in there, but there is some background things that it does. Now, when you're talking about air intake temperatures, as you get higher temperatures, it's going to mess with how much spark advance you can run. Higher temperature, less spark advance, because it will start pinging and rattling and carrying on, because this makes the air real nasty and thin and does bad stuff. But it's just like when you go up in elevation, it's temperatures, that's the whole thing. But if you got the opportunity to put one in, it's not a great big pain, throw that thing in there. You'll thank yourself later when we upgrade our system to do more stuff with the IAT.
Yep.
And you won't have to do nothing, just be a software update and a little bit of tuning, and you're like, okay, cool, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of a pain to put in, and it's really kind of a deal, I wouldn't worry about it so much. Most of my stuff doesn't have one except the throttle body units, but I really should put them in because I'm getting ready to start doing a whole bunch more boosted stuff.
Yep.
Also, if you have a system that you're running and it starts randomly and running really, really bad, as I found out recently, make sure there's fuel in the tank. Straight did it.
Definitely have done that before.
I diagnosed around that, and then I was like, I should put gas in it.
Yep. Have done that before.
Race car stuff.
Yeah. Well, the Camaro's not exactly a race car, but
no, it could be.
It could be.
Anything's a race car if you try hard enough.
Tim Moore.
Banned from Enterprise Rental Car and Euro Car Europe for life. And Geico Insurance for life. Dude. It's true.
Oh, I did not know that. That's great.
I got a ticket in the Netherlands for 200 kph over.
Well, I did know that. Talk about merch ideas.
You haven't lived until you've got an angry letter from the Dutch government
Germany,
that's in Nederlandish, and then you get one from a German government agency, and then you get one, and then you get another one, and you just don't go on vacation there for about 5 years, apparently.
Yep.
That's a fun story. Which one?
JC I was looking at Bryant Stillwell, but yeah, that's the...
Oh, there's Bryant. I just talked to him earlier.
The next one is JC.
JC Meyer. You made a point of saying the wiring harness for the FPS and internal FPS are the same input. That's true. So you can't run both on the Killshot 2. Is there another input maybe one day that'll be available? Yeah. That's something we want to add in is a pressure sensor input, 5-volt reference wire, this, that, and the other, so that if somebody's running something like a 3-port Mac valve, or if somebody's running something like another extra pressure sensor, whatever it needs to be, It's a little bit more customizable. So we're going to start. This is the pivotal point in doing all this, where we start looking into adding in these extra little custom things here and there as these products develop and change their face. And you, the people, give us the suggestions of what you really want.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Bryant Stillwell. Tim, Ben, anyone who wants to listen. That sounds like a Nederlandish name. I find myself lacking in Ace's EFI hat. I really like hats. Would sure appreciate an Ace's EFI hat. Even better if Tim draws a smiley face on it. And I'll sign your hat. Oh, yeah.
Is that how you do? You autograph stuff with a smiley face? Is that how you do it?
I can.
Yeah, we can get a hat. We're also doing a bunch of new hats. So, the Joker video isn't out yet. So, but you'll see a new hat design as well as some more hats coming down the pipeline. So you may want to hold off for those, Bryant. But yeah,
Brian,
of course.
I'd send you my one-off hat, but bro, I sweated in that thing hard this weekend.
We'll get you a hat.
Yeah.
And for those that are wanting a hat, you can check it out at acesefi.com. You can just search hat in the search bar, and there'll be hats that pop up.
Yeah, we're gonna get a couple different styles.
But I would hold off until these new ones come in.
I look for. Are we getting flex fit? Something like that.
There will be flex fit.
Yeah, that's great.
There'll be flex fit. Will be that trucker style mesh background and a bunch of different styles. So
us hot riders of a certain age with thinning hair that gets it out in the direct sun will appreciate a good hat.
Yeah, and also there'll be the straw hats. I don't get the straw hats. I see them everywhere. I know that people like them.
You don't have to understand it because race car, Ben.
It's just, but
why
everybody
are you buying
wears
that thing? Because race car?
Because race car. Well, yeah. I do write marketing emails occasionally for us that just like buy more car parts. Why? What do you mean, why?
It's funny. They'll send marketing will send an email to us in the back where it's the collection of proper scumbag car guys. And they're like, does people think this is cool or something? I don't understand it. It's like, yeah, it's because race car, man.
Yep.
It's it. I can't wait for him to get his first real raggedy car he's got to turn a wrench on. This is exciting for me.
Also true. Work to play.
That's a
cool name.
352.
352. I just received the Joker kit for the small block Ford with the Aces Gambler Series CamSync V8 distributor.
Love it.
And coil. Should I switch to a LS throttle body? And I have a new MSD 6A digital ignition box. Can I use it with this? You don't want to do that. The last one, don't do that because the Joker already has it built inside of itself.
Yeah, you don't need to use the MSD. That picks up on the mic.
The tapping?
It does. Wicked bad. I put my phone on there one time and it was like clank, 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 clank. See? Just drowned your whole voice out.
Don't do that. Don't use the MSD 6AL box because the Joker already has a CDI box built in.
Yeah, and then negate all the rev limiters and extra things. If you was going to use like an MSD 6 with a multi-port kit, you can use it with a wild card still too. Not a big deal. It is a little bit extra to do. It's not a massive deal to do. That sounds like a great video idea at some point, is all the different how you can hook things up. Not exactly correct, but correct.
Yep.
They work great. But yeah, you already got a Joker. You don't need the MSD box. Stick it on a shelf for a rainy day. And should I switch to an LS throttle body? You can. You definitely can. Because it's an LS style throttle body that comes on those a lot of the multi-port. Like if you got like a tunnel ram, a lot of the same sensors, same IAC, this, that, and the other. It's pinned the same, wired the same. You can stick that on there. It's fine.
Yep. Though you should have gotten a throttle body though if you got an intake.
Depending on which kit he got, because it's for a small block Ford, so he might be running something different because we don't know if he's got a tunnel ram. Tunnel rams are hard to do on a Ford. If he's running an LS style throttle body, there is an adapter to go from 4150 to an LS style throttle body, big single plate. That's a good fun. They even make a nitrous plate for that, which is super neat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you can do that.
Sweet.
Ow. I hit my head one time.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all the YouTube comments. So let's just get a couple Facebook comments. We haven't done this in a while, so I think it'd be good to do just to do. You know what I mean? Just every once in a while.
Yeah.
Hit it up.
I ain't seen Facebook stuff in a while. I don't get on the Facebook. Like, I do rarely, but I'll get a lot of people that at me and stuff, and I'm usually doing other social media stuff, unfortunately. So my apologies if I don't answer the at, but I do eventually review them. There's just quite a few.
Yeah, just a couple.
Same thing with direct messages. I'm like 400 and something deep at this point because it's, good stuff, bad stuff, questions, this, that, and the other. I try my best, but I have to kind of filter through those because some of them I just like, there's no way I'm responding to that.
Also true. All right, we got Skylar Nauman, something like that. I've seen a post about the LS engines only working with certain sensors. What brand is good to go with? Thanks.
Dealership quality AC Delcos. Just call up your local Chevy dealer and get them ins. They go through different quality checks than the ones that's available at O'Reilly's, which sometimes turn into a hit and miss game. Because I've bought sensors and been hung up before, and then this third set come around and worked just fine. But then 2-3 months later,
Also true.
Welcome back to the channel. So, in case you didn't miss it, we switched over to Face Space, and we're reading through the comments, and we got one with a long last name that's great. Was that Corey Heiderschmidt?
Heiderscheit? I don't know. Something like that.
Schmidt. It's Schmidt. So I have a jackpot with trans controller. It's only showing second gear. Won't change no matter what mechanical gear is selected. No plug for the park neutral drive. Low switch on the shift linkage. Brian Stillwell actually answered this a bit, and you will need to check your firmware. So if it's plugged in the correct orientation on your transmission, make sure you got the right transmission selected. Make sure you have trans control selected, and you're using the right firmware. If you just use normal Jackpot or Jackpot Lite or what have you not, you need to make sure you're using the Pro software, even if you're using drive-by cable, because that's the one that has the trans control functionality. Yep.
I had to show somebody this at the show this weekend.
It's a common thing. I mean, maybe we should figure out a way to be a bit more clear and upfront with it, but it is there. Yep. Second gear is the fail-safe for GM transmission. So even if you unplug all the electronical bits, you still got second gear.
Yep.
Unless like you broke something, then you have no gears. But
that's true.
But yeah, don't worry about the park neutral drive internally with all the sensors that it already has all the pressure transducers inside of it. So what happens is it has like the 4 little logic states is what it looks at. As it goes. I feel that's answered. That's good. I don't get the Aces owners and tech updates anymore. Did you guys block me?
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds about right.
No. Jeffrey Boker.
Maybe I gave my opinion a little too hard at one point or the other.
It's not true. SBF, small block Ford, 351 Windsor, only running ignition system lock. My system at 30 degrees. Handheld showing 23. Always, if I unlock it, it shows 7 degrees all the time. Any help?
Running ignition system. Only running ignition system. Are you... We only run the ignition system, so if you're running the high roller...
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, if you're running the high roller and you're setting it up for a bit of timing control, and you have a locked-out distributor, you set it in for your total timing. So if you're going to be running 30 degrees, 32, 36, whatever it is, you stick it in there and you lock it. You set it in there for that. And then you go into your handheld and select the lock feature to let it know that it's a locked distributor at its total timing. And then you go into the table for it, and then you retard timing appropriately. That way you can give you a chance to set that table up and verify, like, hey, this is 32 degrees, and then when I up with the RPMs, whatever, it doesn't move. And then whenever you set up that lock it out and do the retard function as well in the timing graph, then you'll have your idle captured and you verify it and then move up through your RPM range to, as it goes up through the graph, you'll see it's retarding less and less and less and less and less to your total timing.
Yep.
That is another video I made with the stanky bins.
Yep. Which
I think it was all right. It was a mid video, but it was all right. It gave the facts.
You all will see a little bit of a
I want to do
Stanky Ben's highlight here very soon.
I love the Stanky Bens. He was on like S3 magazine too.
But
and I had lunch on top of that car yesterday.
That's true. But what I will say is, if you're just running, like if you just got on our website and got a distributor and coil, and you're wanting it to do timing control, which I've seen before, which I don't know if that's what's going on here. It just says ignition system, so if it's just a distributor and coil, you're not going to be able to do anything. You'll need some kind of ECU from us to do exactly what Tim's talking about. So
I think it's just a bit of stuff because we need to do, not just me, we need to do more stuff oriented around the high roller and all its functionality. I am doing a high roller project personally right now with a whole lot of fun just for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah.
But on the ACES side of stuff, I really want to push for, I want to show you guys in a great video or 2 or 10 all the different combinations you can run that high roller.
Yeah.
All of them. So it's going to be me with an engine run stand hanging out with the high roller, going in through every conceivable combination of how you're going to hook this thing up.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we can do one more here with Caleb Jaden. He says, the IAC is stuck at 179. Adjusted the throttle blade, but no movement in the IAC. Any advice on this?
Yeah. There's a good chance that you probably got a bit too much fuel. What I would do is cycle the key a couple times and make sure that the IAC is good. I would look at how much pulse width you're running to. On a jackpot, you're generally going to be around 4-ish pulse width at idle, depending on the size of your injectors, of course. And if you're running like 6 or 8 or something, I'm also looking at your target versus actual AFR or matching each other. There might be an issue with your O2 sensor throwing too much comp in there, thinking that it's lean and it's really not, and it's actually too fuely, and it's opening the IAC a whole bunch because you're also probably going to see an advanced timing situation. Also, make sure to verify that your TPS is zeroed as well, if that helps.
Yeah.
Because more fuel, going to need more air. Too much fuel is going to give it all the IAC to keep it running. And I see your target idle speed is 1,176. That's monstrously high. So it looks like you got a few things going on there. But that's the stuff that I would check. The thing that I just said and totally forgot what I said, but whatever it is I just said was probably it. Which I think baffles Ben, because whenever I do these videos, I try to do them in one take, and then they say like, "Wow, that was great. How'd you know about that thing?" And I'm like, "What did I say?" So I just try to push out the facts.
Just goes one thing to another.
Yeah, I've got.
If you thought about it, you'd remember.
Squirrel?
No. Yeah. Cool.
Nope, it looks like you got too much fuel. You probably got a bad O2 sensor. It's washed down with a bunch of fuel.
I do like that Facebook has pictures.
I like pictures.
With YouTube, you can't upload an image, I don't think, but we can see the actual handheld reading when reading a question on Facebook.
It's in a Chevy.
Yep. How did you know?
You see that? Yeah. You see that switch right there? That switch?
It's a dead giveaway.
No, mine's actually bad in my Tahoe. I got to replace it. If I hit a bump, my headlights go off. I switch back to daytime runners.
Fair enough. No, that's good. Yeah. I think that'll do it for us as far as time goes. But yeah.
Yes.
Tim, thank you for coming out here to the studio and recording an episode of Tech Tuesday with me. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any comments about ACES fuel injection or EFI in general, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd be happy to get to it in the next Tech Tuesday video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like as well. Or if you know anybody that's looking to switch to fuel injection, point them our way. We'd love to help them out with any questions they may have as well. But yeah. Unless, Tim, you have any updates for us or anything like that. I didn't. Do you have any fashion statement tips for us today? Or anything like that? I didn't even open with that. It's been so long since I've done intro.
If you work for a fuel injection company, always make sure to carry at least one good work shirt at the studio. That way you don't wear all your office attire and get on camera with it.
Yeah, because that totally isn't what just happened today.
That's totally what it did not happen today. But the cool thing is I've lost weight, so I'm down to a 2X. What's up?
Thank you guys so much. And like always, we'll see you in the next video.
We'll
Bye
see you
for
now.